this to the site. Welcome everyone to our Wednesday Attraction in Action Mastermind series. Now today we got Eric Orland, who's just killing it with revenue share. And he's going to tell you exactly how he's doing it, what's working, what's not working. And I want you guys to take really great notes. I want you to really lean in today and really pay attention. So Eric Orland, welcome. How are you doing, bud?
Good, Sean. It's good to be here. I was, as you know, I was talking to Sean. I was in my birthday suit about 2 minutes ago. So Sean said, hey, would you like to jump on? So I threw on some clothes and a baseball cap, and it's good morning, everybody. It's good to see you.
Well, thank you for being here, Eric. So as you know, there's 4 areas that we must focus on to build a sustainable revenue share organization. Right. I call this the 4 R's, and I'll get rid of the background noise there. There we go. So the 4 R's, R number 1 is recruiting. Number 2 is retention. 3 is revenue or per agent production. And then 4th is reproduction, meaning let's get those agents that you attract into EXP to get them excited about attracting another agent, to help them attract that agent through taprooting and things like that. So Eric, which of the 4 R's would you like to talk about today? Talk to me.
You know, recruiting to me is obviously is what revenue share is all about. It's introducing people to this incredible business opportunity put forth by EXP in a way that's inviting, in a way that when you reach out to somebody, you have to have a sense of both confidence and comfortability. Because if you are not comfortable and confident in approaching somebody, why would you expect them to be? So to me, you know, half of my day, I don't treat revenue share as a hobby. I treat it as my profession, where I am out there each and every day with the mindset that I've got something invaluable to share with another human being, where I don't have to sell EXP. All I have to do in the most spiritually healthy manner possible is connect with another human being to see if I could be of service. And when I'm of service, all that means is that I'm looking for the opportunity to do nothing more than the following: compare and contrast what EXP offers another human being versus what they have in place right now, to see which one aligns best with the long-term direction that they want to take their business. That is what my days consist of. It's reaching out to people, all about relationship selling. You know, it's not hard closing. It is seeing if I could be of service on a continuum throughout my entire day. And I get to go to sleep at night feeling, you know what? I bring value into the world by simply sharing this incredible model.
I love that, Eric. Fantastic. So let's talk tactical, like scripts, dialogues, objection handlers. What do you say?
I typically ask what we call the open-minded question, right? So your scripting is absolutely essential. It is absolutely essential. So I build a rapport. How do we all build a rapport with somebody? Who knows the acronym, how to build a rapport with somebody?
Can you just imagine?
Does anybody know the acronym, how to build a rapport with somebody? So if I wanted to get to know Sean Kokoska.
Ford.
It is. That's exactly what it is, Will. It's asking people questions about their family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. I believe a great salesperson is never talking a lot. I think a great salesperson is always listening to understand who their audience is and how we could be of service. Remember, at the end of the day, selling is about solving people's problems and meeting people's needs. And the only way to uncover a problem to solve it or a need to meet it is to ask appropriate questions. So my goal when I first meet somebody is always to build a simple level of rapport between them and I, not by me talking, but by me asking. Really, really important. Remember, at the end of the day, people are going to do business with you if they like you, if they trust you, and if they deem you as being competent and responsive to their needs. So I then, you know, once I've identified and built some rapport, I'll typically ask somebody how long they've been at their existing brokerage firm for. What do they like best about having that broker as their brokerage partner? And then I'm looking for what we call their pain points. Sean, what would you change or modify? Or in other words, Sean, what don't you like? Carmen, how are you, honey? What don't you like about is there anything you don't like about your current brokerage relationship? And that always leads me to what we call the open-minded question, watch. And why do I use the word open-minded? Hey, Don, would you be open-minded? If Don says to me, Eric, I'm not open-minded, what has he just called himself?
Closed-minded.
Which means he's calling himself ignorant. Nobody wants to, right? Nobody wants to, you know, say that about themselves. They don't want to deface themselves. So I always use the word open-minded. Don, would you be open-minded to exploring a brokerage platform that allows you to keep more of your commission and maybe maybe, Don, aligns with the long-term direction you'd like to take your real estate business by offering you multiple streams of revenue. One of those revenue streams happens to be a passive one. Is that something you might find compelling? And is that something you would simply be open to exploring with me? So what I'm doing is I'm diffusing. I'm not coming at them. If I can, will you? I'm diffusing. Would you like to explore this together, Don? You know, Eric, yeah, and most of the people are going to say yes to that question because it's asked in a very non-threatening manner, which leads me to the next script, right? Hey, you know, Don, I'm not looking for any commitment from you today whatsoever. I'm taking almost it's a takeaway, right? I'm not asking you for any commitment today. The only thing I'm going to ask is the following. I'm going to take the liberty of sending you out 2 short videos. One of the videos is 9 minutes. You can almost watch it as you're brushing your teeth, right? Usually gets them to giggle. The other video is about 30 minutes. I'm going to ask you to watch these videos so you have a really good overview why EXP is the fastest growing real estate company in the history of real estate. Remember, there's features and benefits. When you give a feature, you're always going to give a benefit. It will also allow you to have a keen understanding of how this incredible platform is going to help you in growing your real estate business and formulate any questions that you'd like me to address when I follow up with you. Would you be able, Sean, to watch these videos within the next 20 to 48 hours? I just closed for the appointment, haven't I? In the least.
Let's get started. So let's rewind that just a little bit, Eric, because it was so good. I don't want anybody to miss out on what you just did. And let's get into a, rather than a role play, kind of a real play. And I want you to imagine that I'm a candidate. And by the way, Eric, you joined EXP, what, about 3 years ago?
Three and a half.
3.5 years ago. And you made the commitment that you were going to make 20 live conversations happen every day. And while I'm sure you didn't hit it every day, you hit it a lot. And as a direct result, you have grown your influence within EXP. How many in your organization now?
I have 2,300 in my organization, and I think I probably brought on the 2 biggest alphas at the company. So one is Orlando Montiel. I'm wearing his hat right now, C5. And the other is also in Miami. It will be announced next week, somebody who's coming over with 200 agents. I met them both on cold calls. Met them both simply picking up the phone. And I have a litany. If I open up my database, I probably have 1,000 people who I have spoken with who have indicated, Sean, to me that they're EXP curious and they're receptive to joining my organization. So I typically will make, it takes me a couple of hours. I don't work in the, some people say, oh, he's overwhelmed by EXP. That's all he does. I probably work no more than 2 hours a day in building my organization. But in those 2 hours that I'm working, I'm going at it really diligently, having a minimum of 20 conversations a day. That's fair.
That is a beautiful thing, Eric. So everything starts with list building. How are you building your lists?
A couple of ways. So I now live in Puerto Rico, as you know. When I was in Miami, my goal, what I love about this platform is the following. We know who our target market is. Will, who's my target market right now? Who is my target market? It's other realtors.
Realtors.
Other realtors is who my market is. As a real estate agent, when we're out there identifying buyers and sellers, the world is our oyster. We don't know who that is. That could come from anywhere. What I love about this is that it's easy to put together our lists. If you do things like look at who are your former colleagues where you used to work prior to EXP, who's on the opposite side of a transaction, what friends do you have in the business? Are you going to board events, your local board events? Are you going to state events, the Association of Realtor State Events? Are you going to 5 or 6 open houses in a weekend simply to flash somebody a smile, say hello, and connect with them? Can any one of us jump on realtor.com and see if somebody's got a background of selling real estate? So putting together a list, Sean, in all honesty, it's the easiest part of my day. It's simply turning over a couple of rocks, and right there you have an audience of people. And, Sean had said this early on, and I give him credit. There are some people that will say, put anybody into your organization. And Sean always said, no, I'm not going to waste my time. And that always has stayed with me. Remember, 80% of the people who get their real estate license within 2 years, what happens?
They fail. Yeah, they're gone.
Why would you waste your time? It would be like betting on a horse that comes in last place. None of us would do that. So why would you build an organization with people, most of whom are going to be out of the industry within 2 years? So my time and effort is focused on what I call somebody who is going to be pretty close to a capping agent. If they're not doing a minimum of 8 to 10 transactions a year, It's no knock on a new agent, because I was a new agent once upon a time before I was completely gray, right? But I was a new agent once upon a time. But my focus today is ensuring that my organization is thriving, not just surviving. And I'm working with people who have the opportunity to help me grow and are like-minded in my thinking.
Love that.
Did I answer your question, Sean?
You did, yet I don't know that I have anything that's tactical, like that I could actually implement and deploy like right now. So as you look at building your list, okay, going to board events was one thing you said.
So that's a key, right? So think about it. Every association, all of you belong to a local board. They all have meetings. Your lenders have meetings every single month, right? They have meetings to meet realtors. Should be going to those events. Your title company has meetings, stopping by open houses, and simply flashing a smile. Looking at realtors who are on the flip side of a transaction of yours. Realtors that are former colleagues or friends of yours. Getting on realtor.com. My son worked for me for this past summer. My son is a senior at Syracuse University. He got on, he loves college sports. So he went around college towns and simply pulled up realtors, Sean, around local universities like Raleigh, North Carolina, where Duke and UNC is. So he would pull up and he would look at the metrics of the realtors. Do they have a lot of listings? Have they made a lot of sales? That was really easy to compile a list. The list is the simplest thing to put in place. What's more challenging is being able to pick up the phone and take on that fear or that rejection that many of us fear of facing, and working on sorting your way through that.
No doubt. So many people are afraid to have their ego bruised. And I'll tell you, the more you risk your ego, the bigger your revenue share group grows, the bigger your bank account becomes when you're willing to do what Eric does. 20 conversations a day, over 2,300 in his organization currently. So, okay, starts with list building. Then it's about, well, what are you going to say? See, if you don't know who you're going to call, you're not going to call anyone. If you don't know what you're going to say and how you're going to say it, you're not going to say anything to anyone. So let's go back again. I want to get into a real play, Eric, where you're calling me. And by the way, most of his organization has been built through simple cold calling, right? You don't know most of the agents, or you didn't know most of the agents before they joined you. Is that right?
I did not.
Okay, so let's dive into it. And if you're comfortable with that, Eric, let's kind of talk through that scripting.
Yep.
Okay. So ring. Hi, this is Sean.
Hey, Sean. It's Eric Orland. How are you today?
I'm good.
Hey, Sean. I wanted to compliment you on the success that you're having. I was just looking at the production reports and seeing that you have a really, really good and quality real estate business. That speaks volumes to who you are as both a professional and as a person. Sean, I hope you'll take this call as a compliment. Sean, may I ask, I'll be direct, would you be open-minded to exploring a brokerage platform that would allow you to keep more of your commissions? And a platform, Sean, that may align with the long-term direction you would like to take your real estate business by offering you multiple streams of income, one of which happens to be passive. Is this something you'd find compelling? Is it something that you'd simply be open to exploring with me?
Yeah, well, I suppose I would. I mean, how do you say no to that? So yeah, I suppose I would.
Sean, I'm not going to ask you for any commitment today. The only commitment I'm going to ask for is the following. I'm going to take the liberty of sending you out 2 short videos. One video is 9 minutes. You can almost watch it as you're brushing your teeth. The other is 30 minutes. Watching these videos will give you a great overview why EXP is the fastest selling real estate, is the fastest growing real estate company in the history of real estate. It will also highlight for you how this incredible platform may assist you in growing your real estate business and allow you to formulate any questions that you'd like me to provide answers to. Would you be able, Sean, to watch these videos within the next 24 to 48 hours?
Yeah, I definitely could.
And I've just closed for the appointment, right? This doesn't have to be hard. We make it hard. This is easier. You could list 40 properties this year and make a boatload of money. Or you could list what I call list, or bring on 40 agents who are looking for a better financial opportunity to take care of themselves and their families and get paid in perpetuity. Not only do you get paid in perpetuity off of their production, but those 40 agents, remember, I think I've got 65 agents in my front line. I've sponsored well over 100 agents. since I've been at EXP. I have 65 active right now on my front line. Those 65 agents have brought in 2,300 agents in my organization, right? The reality is that you don't have to be uber successful. If you simply focus on bringing on one agent a month, right? I brought on one agent a month. I've been at EXP for, 3.5 years, less than 2 agents a month. You now have $1 million business in place. You don't have to go full born at this. And remember, if you're selling real estate, you have a distinct advantage to someone like myself who's not selling real estate. What do I mean by that? There's not one of us in today's call who got our real estate license with the intent of recruiting somebody, right, Sean? We didn't get our real estate license to recruit somebody. We got our real estate license because we love selling real estate, working with buyers and sellers. But can we agree? Can we agree that if you are selling real estate, you have to be communicating with another realtor? You're either listening to an offer or making an offer. So a conversation exists. This is a simple add-on to a conversation that's already taking place, right? As you're going through a 30-day escrow or 30-day contract period, you're building a rapport with somebody. How easy would it be to say, hey, Glenn, really have enjoyed working on this transaction with you. May I ask, Glenn, how long have you been over at KW for? Oh, you've been there about 6 years now. What do you like best about having KW as your brokerage partner? Hey, Glenn, is there anything that you would change or modify? Is there anything you don't like about KW? Hey, Glenn, I wanted to run this by you since I've enjoyed getting to know you, and I hope you'll take this as a compliment. Glenn, would you be open-minded? And I go right to the script. I stay with the script, and I don't move away from the script because the script works for me in a way that it's given me tremendous results. Does anybody have any questions on this at all?
Well, I certainly do, but let's open it to the group. All right. So my question is, what do you say during the attraction conversation? I mean, how do you close them, Eric?
So how do I close somebody? So what I've learned through the attraction process is I typically don't have to close somebody. I want you guys to think of your first kiss, right? I remember when I was a young kid, I'd go to a movie theater with my mom and dad and said, how does this whole kissing thing work? Do you just take them by the back of the hair and you pull them in and you slap one on them? My mom and dad used to say, Eric, no, it's a natural process. It's a very natural process. So I don't use hardcore closing techniques. I mean, those of you that are on my attraction call, it's like a peck after a peck after a peck leads to a big kiss. So I am doing trial closing, Sean, throughout the entire presentation. So when I ask somebody, I hope my kid doesn't ask me that. Kelly, you actually do, right? But the reality is that it's a natural process. I don't typically have to close. What I'll typically say to somebody is, I'm sure at this juncture, you would agree it's not a matter of whether or not you want to join AXP. I think the better question is, why wouldn't you put yourself in a position to have the results that you want, need, and quite frankly, desire?
That is so powerful. Eric, say that one more time. That was so good.
So what I'll typically say is, it's really not a need or question about whether or not you want to join EXP. I think the appropriate question is, why wouldn't you want to join this great organization and put yourself in the position to have all of the goals or all of the desires you both want, all of the things that you want, need, and desire.
I love it, Eric. And now you're a great objection handler.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi, you
hold on. There we go. Sorry about that background noise there, guys. So you're a great objection handler, Eric. And what are the objections you might hear when you ask that question? What do they say? Do they say, well, Eric, I'm just really happy where I'm at, or boy, it'd be a pain to shift brokerages? What do they say?
I don't get many objections today, although I'm prepared for any objection as I was in real estate. When I was a real estate coach, I practice objection handling as much as anybody, because I believe that an objection is a pathway to a sale. I don't think that somebody's giving you an objection to be malicious or to pee in your cornflakes, so to speak. I think that somebody gives you an objection is that because they're having a hard time navigating around the obstacle or the thing that's inhibiting them from making a firm decision, giving you positive feedback or a decision. So to me, an objection is a pathway to a sale. And you have two choices. You can hear an objection and look at somebody like a deer in the headlights and go, oh God, and feel uncomfortable. And if you're feeling uncomfortable, how do you think that person is feeling? Or you have another option. is you can anticipate hearing that objection, knowing how to properly isolate it, handle it, and overcome it, and so secure yourself a client. So I think the question is, what is the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different or better result. Yeah.
You're going to hear the same 5 or 6 objections over and over and over again. So would it not be literally insane for me not to take the time to understand what I'm going to hear and how to respond in a manner that's comfortable and confident so I can earn somebody's business? If I didn't do that, I would be the exact opposite of a professional. I would be unprofessional, and I wouldn't be worthy of having a significant revenue share business. So I'm really prepared when somebody gives me an objection, how to properly isolate it, handle it, and overcome it. And you hear the same 5 or 6 objections over and over and over again. And it's important to not just memorize these objections, but take them and internalize them, bring them in as part of your personality. So when someone gives you an objection, again, you're not looking at them like a deer in the headlights, but you're thinking, I'm in a position to really extend a helping hand and be of service to another human being so they can make a decision in the best interest of themselves and their family.
Yeah, love that. So 4 steps to handling objections, gang. Number 1, to acknowledge it. Seek first to understand, then be understood, right? They're not going to be open-minded to hearing what you have to say until they know that they've been heard. So you've got to acknowledge the objection. Step 2, isolate the objection. Other than blank, is there any other reason you wouldn't set an appointment to meet with me today? So that's step 2. Step 3 is to handle the objection. And step 4 is to, and most importantly, ask again for what you want, no doubt. And Eric, you're a master at this. I know I've seen you teach on this subject. I've watched videos of you teaching on this subject. So thank you for that. And Will, you've been really patient. You've had your hand up for just 5-6 minutes. Go ahead, ask your question of Eric.
Eric, man, congratulations, dude. Big fan of your body of work. I came across you maybe about a year ago. I saw a video of you cold calling. I guess you were still in Miami. You were at the house, but man, I call on that for power and energy as I move through my day sometimes, man. So congratulations again. I had a question in terms of once you get somebody on the hook, like what's that sales cycle like? How long is it taking you to bring? Because I've noticed, I bought on a couple of good producers, and they take a long time, man.
So my feedback, first of all, thank you for the kind words, Will. I think it varies from person to person. So I think you need to pay attention to your audience. It's never about me. It is about the person who I'm trying to bring on. I view them as the star. I'm simply sitting in the audience, eating popcorn, letting them kind of talk and share and do the things so I can know how to be of service. I brought on 2 significant producers that I think are going to be as big as anybody at EXP. One is Orlando Montiel. I met him in a cold call. I knew within a week that Orlando would be joining EXP. He came over within 30 days. My organization is massive because of most of his efforts and the people that are in his organization. The other person, somebody who I got a commitment from this week, I met him a year and a half ago. I do a Zoom call that many of your colleagues, I do a Zoom call every Thursday, and we cold call together where they hear me, I critique their calls, Rad is on the call, quite a few people, Carmen is on the call. It's quite a few people today that's listening that are prospecting with me on Thursdays. I met somebody in a Zoom call, I think 30 or 40 people were listening, and I met him a year and a half ago. A year and a half ago, Will. Start off the conversation, would you be open-minded? And he says to me, I'm not interested. What is that? What is I'm not interested? It's an objection. So how would I handle that? I asked him, you never speak in an objection, you ask. Because when you speak at somebody, you're now putting in place a confrontational relationship. They're talking at you, you're talking at them. We want to diffuse. So you diffuse by asking, right? I said, may I ask, what aspect of the EXP brokerage platform are you not interested in? Is it the ability to keep more of your commissions, have ownership of the brokerage, or have a passive income stream so you could have the good fortune of getting paid like a broker? He says to me, you're really good at this. I swear to you, that's how he responded. You ready, Will? I'm going to show you something. A year and a half. Spoke to him a year and a half ago. I was on the phone with him, and if you had said, Eric, I'll bet $1 million, I would have put $1 million he was coming aboard a year and a half ago. 6 months later, a year ago, Dave Kennord was the president of EXP at that time. Dave and I had 2 meetings with him. He did a tour of EXP World, called me up and said it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Didn't bring him on board. I continued to text him. I put him in a drip campaign, which we send out on the 15th and the 30th of every month. So he was getting communicated for me using my system that works automatically. You ready? 8 weeks ago, I get a text, Eric, do you believe that life is about timing? I said, I sure do. He said, I'm ready to get married. I want to show you something. Okay. This is my text with him. Can you see my phone?
Yeah, it's kind of, there's a
Kind of
glare on it. There, that's a little better.
All I could tell you is that I don't know if you could see this or not. I mean, it is hundreds of pieces of communication. It was me talking to him on the phone, me working my system where he was getting automatic emails from me, where I was making him laugh, where I was evoking an emotion. So Will, in answer to your question, I think every client is different. Some clients, it's a longer selling cycle, but it's not up to me because I'm not the client. They are the client. And if I'm truly being of service, I'm listening to them and I'm handling and communicating with them in a way that's comfortable to them. Did I answer your question, buddy?
You did.
Okay,
So
it's not
it's not a one-stop shop. It's listening, it's paying attention, and it's communicating with people in the frequency that they're comfortable communicating.
Yeah. And I want you to tune in on one thing. Recognize the language that Eric is using. It's a client. Do you get this, right? It's not just some agent who's going to join your organization. No, they see your client focus must change. It's not maybe so much about working the buyer and seller business, which you're still going to do and you have to do. And I totally get that. Yet I want you to think of these candidates as a client. And of course, we want to take care of our clients. So great input, you guys. Great question, Will. Thank you for that. Now, Eric, I want to drill a little bit deeper into your system. You said you've got a system to follow up with them. What does that look like? What does it feel like?
So I created a system called Attraction Flow. I know there's many people on today's call who are part of Attraction Flow. We provide Attraction Flow to everybody who is in our organization. So Sean is my sponsor. So anybody in our organization gets Attraction Flow because it helps them attract agents. Why somebody, and I have a very good friend on here, Renee is going to probably kill me for saying this. Why somebody doesn't utilize Attraction Flow and come on the call with me Thursdays and cold call, I don't get it. If you're serious about building rev share, I've done this as well as anybody at the company, and I'm not bragging when I say this, saying something that's factual. So the Attraction Flow is a step-by-step automated system that is super easy to implement. It comes with a proven track record, and much of it is automated. It does the work for you. It's a 10-point flow chart that we use, and depending on how somebody responds to a question, we know the appropriate course of action to take. We have templates, we have automations, we do a drip campaign. The drip campaign goes out twice a month. One part of the drip campaign, it's really quirky, right? Like last year I was Cupid. I don't look like a very good Cupid, but I was Cupid, right? Wishing everybody a happy Valentine's Day. We use Pinata Farms, where I have my head on Leonardo DiCaprio's body in The Wolf of Wall Street. So what we're trying to do is evoke an emotion, get somebody to smile so we stay top of mind. The other drip campaign is something factual about EXP where there's a call to action. So Attraction Flow sells for $795. Do not buy it. We're going to be giving it away. We're going to sell it for between $99 to $199. Sorry, Rad. But it's going to be $99 to $199 within the next month. We are going to come out with our own CRM, all of our templates, all of our automations, all of our templates, automations, drip campaigns, scripts, videos of me making the call, and the ability to call with me every week is going to be made available for you for the exact same price that you're paying for CRM Grow, which I think is $49 a month. But this is going to give you, it's not just going to be a CRM, you're going to have the entire playbook. You're going to have the entire template that I've used to build my organization. You know, I've coached Sheila Fageron's group, GoGo's group. I've coached some of the biggest groups at EXP. These are exactly the tools and systems. So do not buy it now. Wait for the announcement to be made. I'm making a ton of money from RevShare. I don't need to make extra money trying to extort from you. Wait 4 weeks. It's $99 or $199, and then you'll have the CRM that goes along with it. But that will be out shortly. I would strongly, strongly encourage you that if you are serious about RevShare, jump on the call with me every Thursday from 2 to 4, where you hear me on the phone making calls. I'll make calls on your behalf. I'll critique your calls. I also do an attraction call every Wednesday and Thursday. Hey, Rad, would you mind unmuting for me? Rad, what's been your experience? Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good, you?
Good, love you, brother. Tell me what's your experience in terms of the attraction calls and the quality of the call.
It's been absolutely instrumental in me building my organization. I'm at 10 agents now, and I literally started early this year. And the reason why I'm at 10 has been completely because of you, your script, your teachings, and your Zoom calls every week.
That's nice of you to say. I love working with you, and you are a testament to somebody who has embraced what they could do. And you know what, folks? You could do this. This is not brain surgery. I'm living proof of that. I'm no rocket scientist. You know, I'm going to share something with you, and then I've got to head off to the airport. But God, I always have a hard time talking about this, Rad, as you know. So I've had a pretty successful career. You know, I come from a family of overachievers. Unfortunately, I'm the middle child. Do you all know what I mean by that? You guys, you still there?
Yep.
You all know what I mean by the middle child?
Yes, yes.
I have a younger brother who's a vascular surgeon, and I have a sister who's a Yale doctor, married to a Yale doctor. Come from a family of overachievers. You know, it didn't work very hard till I was 30. My aunt's family started Universal Studios, and I lived, you know, went to UCLA, and after UCLA, I played beach volleyball until I was 30. I didn't work. Got into real estate, and I hit it big. I sold 128 homes my second year in real estate, and then went on to coach. And at 58, the unthinkable happened. At 58, I lost every penny I had to my name. My son, whose school did not come easy to, he was raised in Northern California. We lived in a town called Burlingame. Came up to me and he said, Dad, you're not going to believe it. I got into Syracuse University, which is a private school in upstate New York. It's about $80,000 a year. I had to look at him with tears rolling down my face and say to him, Jackson, I'm sorry, but I can't afford your college education. I didn't know how I was going to put a roof over my head or put food on the table. I had heard about the EXP model 3 years prior to joining it. For 3 years, I poo-pooed this model. For 3 years, Sean, 3 years, I tried to blow holes into why this model would not work.
Me too.
Well, here I was, poor and destitute. You remember?
Yeah, I remember the conversation.
I was poor. I had to go to my brother and sister with my tail between my legs and say to them, hey guys, can I borrow $2,500? I thought they thought I lost my mind. And I made a solemn vow to myself. I said, I don't care if I've got to crawl over mountains or swim through rivers, but my legacy will not be that I went out in the bottom. My legacy will not be looking at my child with a tarnished reputation that I failed. I came and I looked at this EXP model again with nothing else to look at. And what I realized was the following. This model, there were no holes that needed to be plugged. This model provided us with tools and systems and technology that was absolutely unseen before in real estate. It was unheard of. This model allowed every one of us the incredible good fortune as realtors to keep more of what's rightfully ours, our commission. It gave us the opportunity to have ownership in a brokerage firm that was soaring like nothing we've ever seen, where friends and colleagues were building generational wealth. And it allowed each and every one of us the incredible, not good, but great fortune to be able to get paid like a broker. The only difference is we get paid, as you know, in 7 tiers. The beauty is the leverageability of the platform. 64 agents, 2,400 in my group, but we don't have the liability that a broker has. We don't have to manage and supervise realtors like a broker does, and we don't have any overhead or out-of-pocket capital. And I said to myself then, as I say every day, I don't have to sell this to anybody. I simply have to come at this with the purest heart possible and share this with another human being. And unless that human being is wearing either blinders or has their hands over their ears, I believe to my hardest heart then, as I do today, that they would have to acknowledge that more times than not, that this incredible brokerage platform aligned with the direction that most of us want to take our business. That this incredible platform provides us as realtors a sense of financial stability and security that has never, ever been before been realized in the real estate sector. A platform that I could take this security into my retirement and then will to my child. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't I? Well, why wouldn't every realtor on a global basis have an open mind to simply listening so they could compare and contrast what EXP offers them versus what they're getting at their existing brokerage firm, so they can make a determination, watch, that's not in my best interest, but is genuinely in their best interest.
Good. I'm fired up. I want to make that next call right now. So, Darren, over to you.
Yeah, Eric, thank you so much for telling me to wait to buy Attraction Flow, because I was actually going to buy it this afternoon. Is there a way though that I could, pardon?
Good, I'm glad I saved you money.
Well, but here's the thing is I don't really want to wait 4 weeks to start working with you. Is there a way I could get in on your calls until
I can't, because I have a
program?
partner in this and I don't want to do anything that's inappropriate, or, you know, I'm buying the company from him and he's a super good guy and I want to maintain a high level of integrity. I don't want to do the wrong thing. And I want to be honest, I don't want you to spend $795. It's going to be available for $199. I know that I'm taking it down. So I don't want to be deceptive to you or my business partner.
And is that a one-time fee or is that a monthly fee?
It's a one-time fee. That's it. And then, you know, you'll need the CRM. The CRM has all of our templates, but it's what you're paying right now for CRM Grow. But it's going to be it's better in that it has all of our templates, all of our automations. It has me making the calls with you. I think if you were to ask, I think Rad has said to me over and over again, Carmen has said it's undervalued at $795. At $99 or $199, it's a laugh. It's a joke.
Cool. Thank you.
Right on.
And I'll say this to those of you that are in Michael Wilches is on. Hey, buddy, how are you?
You're decreasing the price?
I am.
I mean, I gotta say, I've been with you since the beginning of the year, and I've gone from like 39 agents up to 71 because of the way he approaches everything on a very spiritual level.
Thanks, bud. I love working with you. I'm really fortunate to have the opportunity. For those of you that are in C5 and you know who you're talking about, the fact that you don't take advantage of this is it's mind-blowing to me. It really is. I mean, it's right there it's right there at your fingertips to reach out. And I love working with my group. I love sharing this model. And regardless if whether or not you're in Sean's group, Sean and I are in the same group, the beauty is the more successful each and every one of you are, if you're out there talking about EXP, you're building our brand together. It doesn't make a difference that we come from different lines. The more successful you are, the more successful we are. Can you imagine 90,000 agents all excited about talking about this incredible platform? We'll have to work, you know, half as hard.
Amen, brother. Well, this has been an incredible call. We do have like 4 minutes left. So Eric, any final thoughts, words of wisdom, anything you want to impart upon these people?
You know, somebody who I really respect that I personally coach with, his name is Kevin Yoder. Sean knows who he is. He's really kind of a great guy. Life. And, you know, he comes at it. He comes at life. It's all about mindset. And I want to say something to you. You know, what you think about is what will manifest itself in your life. Stop the limiting thoughts. Stop the limiting beliefs, man. See yourself with an organization of 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people. You know, write it down. Have it, you know, I'll show you 2 things that I do. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let me grab this. I don't know where it is. My wallet. Okay. You know, I use a 5-minute journal each and every day, you know, and you can see that I live by this, right? Every single day I write for 5 minutes in my journal. And part of what I look at is I look at really clear, you know, what is it that I'm committed to? What is it that I'm committed to achieving? You know, not something that I just put out there blindly, but my goals, they're real. They're something that's important to me. So be clear about what it is that you want to accomplish. Remember, when you approach somebody, don't approach them like somebody's doing you a favor. You're doing them a favor. You're talking about a company that's got over a $3 billion market cap that has transformed how realtors transact real estate and puts us in such a different place financially. So come at this with the right mindset. Understand that you've got something of value. Be clear about what you're going to accomplish. Hone your selling skills. So if you hear an objection or asking a qualifying question, it comes off as being authentically you. And remember, don't sell anybody. Come at people from the vantage point of how can I be of service today? And dude, watch your business soar. Absolutely soar. And if you maintain that, you know, it's as clear to me as the day is long. I'm going to have 20,000 people in my EXP organization within the next 5 years. And each and every one of you could hit goals or levels of having a group in place that goes way beyond your imagination. EXP is just scratching the surface. I want you to remember that every real estate company out there right now, every real estate company has lost agents with the exception of one. I'm not going to sit here and tell you we've had a huge net gain over the last year because that would be disingenuous, but we certainly haven't lost. Our organization continues to soar at a level that every other broker is envious of. We have marketing tools and systems coming out within the next week that are going to absolutely blow you away. The only thing, and I mean the only thing, that's stopping you from having the greatness as you want is these limiting beliefs of self. Stop it. Stop the craziness. Put it away. Embrace this opportunity. You're worthy of the success that you're looking for.
Well, Eric, I'm going to speak for everybody on this call. I think we're inspired. What do you guys think? Are you inspired right now? Are you ready to get out there and crush it? Now, there are a couple of things I wanted to say. Number one, mindset is everything, like Eric said. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are 100% right. So just go to your spouse, your significant other, and say, you know, Sean told me I'm always right, because you are. You're 100% right all the time. So, boy, the second thing is skipped my mind yet. Eric, this has been an amazing call. I'm so impressed with what you've accomplished. And I know when you came to EXP, like you said, you were broke, and now you just got back from what, a couple of months in Europe, right? Just living the life.
I was in Europe for 6 weeks. Yeah, I was.
6 weeks, yeah. So you're living the life you want to live, and it's all thanks to this model, you guys. And the second thing I wanted to say was, with mere words, with just words, gang, you can build $1 million a year business at EXP inside of 24 months with zero capital risk, zero liability associated with running the brokerage. They do it all for you. All you need to do is have the guts to pick up the phone and call an agent, or stop into that open house and say, hey, since I'm with EXP, we have this tool called Express Offers, and I can get you a cash offer within 24 hours, close as soon as 10 business days. Let me ask, is your seller open-minded to that? Would they like a cash offer through Express Offers? And that opens the door to the EXP conversation. Then you focus on the Ford technique, like Eric talked about, family, occupation, recreation, dreams. It's going to lead to that attraction opportunity, and you can't drop the ball there. So attraction flow, hold off for a few weeks. Eric's going to get when you're ready, Eric, can I bring you back on this call? Would that be okay?
Listen, I love talking about this. This is my life, so I'm happy to share. I'm going to do one better, Sean. If anybody has any questions, I can't stand texting, and people are afraid to drive with me as is. Pick up the phone and call me, right? Can you imagine me texting and driving? My mind's going 1,000,000 miles an hour. Pick up the phone and call me. My cell phone number is 415-595-9000. 415-595-9000. The name of the system is called Attraction Flow, just like it sounds. ATTRACTION flow, FLOW.com. So you could research the system. Anything that comes up for you, feel free to just reach out and give me a call. I'll be happy to talk to you.
Yeah, I just posted that.
Come on to them whenever you'd like me to.
Yeah, I posted that to the chat for everyone. Eric, amazing call. Thank you for being here with us today. And we'll have you back here in about a month when you're ready to make that.
Thanks for having me. Everyone have a great day.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Eric. All right. Well, until we talk again next week, just be on purpose, be productive, be powerful. Thanks for being here. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, buddy.
Damn it.